Let's gracefully talk about the gravity of this moment and many others from the 2026 Drum Corps International World Championships. Let's go. The 2026 DCI World Championships just wrapped up, and of course, I'm here to share my thoughts about them with you. If you missed it, we did a supplementary live stream to go alongside the Flow Marching official live stream here on the channel, where it was all about interacting in between Corps performances without any copyright issues whatsoever. Just a great place to come and chat. If you were here for the live stream, comment below and let me know that you were there, because we had a blast talking with all y'all. And it was just a record-setting live stream for us. So thank you if you came by and showed up and supported the channel or just chatted with us. So thanks so much. All right, disclaimer, all of the following opinions are mine, and they are just that, my opinions. I think every single performing member gave it their all, and that's what it's really all about, is the growth and the experiences and the memories you make along the way as performing members. So congrats on a wonderful 2026 season. Just wanted to start my video by letting you guys know how much I appreciate all that you have done this season. And I'm sure for those of you that are coming back next season, I can't wait to see what you do in 2027. This was the year of let's look up that show design, because I have no idea what it is when I watch it for the first time. That's not every single drum corps that I saw, but it really is a good majority, and I just want to be able to understand what I'm seeing and dive in deep with what I am able to understand, instead of needing like a backlog of a trilogy of books to really grasp what in the world I'm watching and what shows are about. But that's just my 2 cents. This was also the year of a later premiere and a shorter competitive season. I mean, there was one point I think I saw corps have like 5 rehearsal days in a row that weren't spring training. That's something unheard of from 10 years ago. Now, to the corps. In 12th place, the Blue Knights. They just edged out Pacific Crest to get to this 12th placement. In prelims, they were 13th and then jumped to 12th for semifinals, edging out Pacific Crest from what could have been their very first World Championship finals. Kudos to Pacific Crest. I'm eager to see you guys next year bumping on up into finals. I believe in you. Blue Knights, I really loved your costuming, the theming, the colors. The show is supposed to be about, I think, where you are, and then where you want to be, where you dream to be, and then in between, the getting there, the journey. It's called The Sky Between. I had to look that one up. Again, I want to be able to enjoy it. Again, I love the colors, and I thought the flute, if we're gonna have woodwinds in drum corps, flute, much better choice than an oboe, all right? And I'm married to an oboist, so I think flute's a better choice. So kudos to you guys, and Blue Knights, beautiful to look at. Hard for me to understand what it was about just on a first read. Great performance. Moving on to 11th place, the Troopers. This show was a little too dark for my taste. Again, I had to look up that it was about the Vietnam War. I got that it was Into Darkness. I didn't fully grasp the Vietnam War thing. And just me personally, I just wouldn't want to be in uniform and not look super duper presentable. And maybe that's just the cadet in me, but I'm sure it was breathable. But again, and it wasn't every member, it was just put some shirts on. Shirts would be great. It was just a little too gritty for me, a little too real. There wasn't quite any sort of fun spin on it. It just was what it was. And for a drum corps that's been known recently for having great storytelling that people really get behind, this year it didn't really seem to be that way, and General Effect really showed that. They were 12th in General Effect, so maybe add a little bit of pizzazz back into it. Shout out to the visual team. I know them. Great work to all the members. You guys killing it. You guys really sold the show, and you were bought in, even if I wasn't bought in. I was bought into you buying in, if that makes sense. So, Troopers. Excited to see what you do in 2027. It was also their 5th consecutive finals appearance, so that's just a testament to how well the Troopers have improved over the past decade, really, and I can't wait to see what they do next year. Let's talk 10th place. Spirit of Atlanta. What an exciting return. They have not made finals since 2013. That's when I started marching in drum corps with the cadets in 2013, first drum corps season. That's crazy. It's like 13 years ago. Their show was so easy to understand. You could tell that they were just joyous to be there in finals, maybe a little bit of extra jitters because they're actually competing, like not in for the last spot, but they're really competing, going for 10th place. Crazy stuff. They had some inside jokes that only drum corps people would get, which made sense for what they were doing. A little bit of Crossman humor in there, with just signs. But again, it was easy to understand what was happening in their show, Golden Summer. So great job. I'm so glad that they are back in finals. Well done, staff. Let's see what you got cooking for 2027. Super excited to see it. Great job, members. And if you need me, I'm right down the road here in Georgia, so you just give me a call. Be happy to help in any way that I can if you want me. So moving on. The Colts in 9th place, the American Experiment. I really enjoyed this show because, again, it was really easy to grasp. The costume change, super effective. The idea of turning more into fireworks at the end of the show, super effective, again, with that costume change and drill and prop moving and all that kind of stuff. Again, love the color choices, the color palette, wonderful. And again, easy to grasp this show concept. I really enjoyed the Zelda-like music that was a really long extended phrase that kept getting faster, and a chelled at the end of their show. Really great work, great effort from the members. They really went after it. And they're the first corps here that are in box 5. They have matched their all-time highest placement back from 2023 in 9th place. And I believe they had their highest score of all time as a corps in semifinals of this year. So kudos to the Colts. Well-deserved box 5 jump here in 9th place. Moving on to 8th place with the Cavaliers and their show, The Lost Boys. I gotta admit, I didn't really like the costuming at all. In fact, in the live stream, I believe I said, yeah, give me a call, we can work that out. It just didn't do anything for me. It didn't feel regal, it didn't feel like we are the Cavaliers. I liked what you wore at finals retreat more than I liked your uniforms that you wore in the show. So yeah, we should work on that costume theming. Also, the show was kind of hard for me to follow. I get it that you guys were the Lost Boys, Peter Pan, I get it, you're fighting time, you don't want to get older, and there's that ticking of the clock that keeps going, but it was still really hard to grasp exactly what was going on. And I just feel like you could, design-wise, like, bump that up in terms of like understandability and recognizability and just moments that we can get behind and understand. We don't need a 12-page paper. It should be one sentence that clearly helps us decide what the show's about. So Cavaliers, we can fix that. 2027 staff, let's do that. Again, as someone who is not taught drum corps, but just has a lot of opinions. Brass. I love the arranging by Bo Cook. That's also probably a little bit of bias from my time marching in the cadets. And of course, Matt Stratton is also teaching there, and he used to teach at the cadets before they folded as well. Their brass line, with all of those things I just mentioned, 7th, not 8th. So they're on the rise there as well. So keep developing that program. I know it's like year 2. So excited to see year 3 with the brass program changes. And also percussion, 5th. Kudos to the percussion. Really great job, percussion staff. Let's keep that going and keep bringing that score up. General effect, show design people, let's get together. Costume design people, let's keep working that out. But again, I thought the members performed great, and I'm just eager to see what happens in 2027 if we can get like a really banger show. I'm ready to see the Cavaliers soar and make some jumps back up, because I'd love to see the Green Machine come back. Let's bring it back. 2K27. Also, I'm going to talk about Crown's percussion. Maybe Carolina Crown should try to steal Cavaliers percussion staff. Just a thought. Put a pin in that. Phantom Regiment and their show Bloodlines here in 7th place. It was a close battle in semis between them and the Blue Stars, but not so close in finals. Again, final scores don't always really tell the real story, but there was a large gap in between them. And I think also intermission probably had some things to do with that, but I digress. The show was a little one note, a little harder to understand. Like, I get bloodlines, you made lines, you look like blood, there was somebody that died at the end, super cool effect because Phantom likes to kill people, like that's like your thing, Spartacus, like I get it. Turandot, all the things you did, there's a lot of times that people have died in Phantom shows. It's kind of like a running theme. But in pointy props, I want to know how you got the missile-like objects into Lucas Oil. I feel like that's, congrats on that, because that announcement keeps going all the time. You can't do so, but you guys did it with those props, so that's crazy. All jokes aside though, I thought it was aggressive, and I love the aggression, and you guys had some serious licks in there, and you really go after it. You're bought in, and I love that. I love how the brass is transformed over the past few years, and just this resurgence of Phantom energy, and I love it. I've commented on how much I've loved Phantom Regiment since Mind, and I'm excited to see what you guys do in 2027. The red uniforms were neat, and so were the props, and also so was the iconic kneeling line where the brass played, and it was just a really cool moment. But you guys had some real serious licks in there, and yeah, kudos to you guys. Keep developing that show concept. We'll see where you guys go. So, great work. Moving on to 6th place, the Blue Stars, and their show. A lot of art. There was a lot of art involved. I really loved the aggressiveness of the show. I loved the way that the brass went after it. I love the costuming and the costume changes that I never, or transformations, I suppose, that I never fully expected or quite grasped how it happened. It was just kind of like magic, and I loved it. The props may have been a little bit clunky, but it got the point across, and oh my gosh, the run and gun drill. Thank you. Somebody's actually running, marching, and playing, doing all sorts of crazy things. Thank you, Kevin Ford. Thank you to the visual staff, and just incredible ending. I loved it. I loved what you guys had to present this year. Shout out to Travis Larson, who taught me Cadets 2014 Mellow Line, Metal Militia. Great work to the team all the way around, and I am thrilled. I keep repeating myself here, but I'm really excited to see what you guys do in 2027. And I did ask my friends around me in the live stream, next Blue Corps to win a world championship, Blue Stars. If you'd asked me like 10 years ago, I would have said the Blue Knights, but here we are. So Blue Stars, come on, let's crank it up. Let's get you guys that championship. Also, Blue Stars had their highest score ever at this World Championship. They did place second in the very first Drum Corps International World Championship, but scoring was different. So again, highest score ever, and also their highest placement since 1977. So kudos to the Blue Stars. Top 6. Let's go, guys. Get on up there. Now, on to 5th place, Santa Clara Vanguard and their show With Reckless Abandon. So, this show was super aggressive, as the title suggests. I loved the uniqueness of the jump rope and the chains, and I just loved the motif idea that kept coming back. It stayed in my wife's head all summer, stayed in my head all summer. Boom, boom, boom. How that kept coming back. Just simple things that just help you remember that the show is all connected in one through line, and I guess also physically with jump ropes and lines that way as well. So I don't think the jump ropes and the chain effect were as big as they were going for or what they wanted, but again, really neat idea. I also believe that their one flavor for pretty much the whole show, being aggressive and being reckless and with abandon, I feel like that flavor was just kind of the same the whole time. Again, impressive that you can keep it up, but there was no real diversification as we saw with some of the other corps. So Santa Clara Vanguard, I love the idea, but now let's just execute on that general effect front and just keep on climbing. Percussion was second. Crazy stuff. You guys are always super good. So kudos to you guys. Really enjoyed it. Got to see you in Idaho. That was awesome. If you haven't seen that short, me and my wife accidentally found them while we were in Idaho for a totally different reason, and we were in the exact same town that they were in. Mind blown. Really great work. Really great organization. Great job, guys. All right, now entering the top 4, we have the Boston Crusaders, last year's champions. I thought the show theme was a little bit gimmicky. Spoiler alert, they did lose Keith Potter back to Carolina Crown. But I appreciated their attention to detail, execution, and performances from the brass and the percussion, always great. Color guard, also always great. But again, that show theming wasn't quite there. I thought their little invisible, I forgot the actual term, I'll put it on screen here, for whatever those plastic screens are called that make things disappear behind them because they bend the light just right. They should have been taller and a little bit wider, just because we saw the people behind them. I just did not fully grasp the effect. And I was saying that in Atlanta. I don't know if you couldn't order more, or if it was impractical to make them bigger, or if it just wasn't worth it at that point. But I like the idea of the 2 different colored sides of the uniforms and getting a lot of cool variations as we shifted from side to side, and blurring of some genres. That was super neat, but it just felt really gimmicky. There was no organic reason for a lot of them other than, yeah, we just want to do it. And I feel like that's the curse with a lot of, we just won our first championship, oh my gosh, so people are chasing us, so what's something we've always wanted to do, or something that's worked for us in the past, and let's crank it up to 100. Or try something that we've always wanted to try. And so I feel like that's what happens, especially when you lose like a legend like Keith Potter, who is so instrumental in designing really cohesive shows. Boston's loss would be Crown's gain. But yeah, Boston Crusaders, again, blurred lines, The show didn't do it for me, but I loved the performance and the execution from everybody. Props, should have been taller. All right, let's move into third place with Carolina Crown and their show, The Doors of Perception. Again, thank goodness Keith Potter's back programming for these guys, because show design, finally, after what feels like a decade, Crown show design is starting to feel like old Crown. I have a video coming out about this hopefully, very soon. I've been working on it for what feels like a year. Actually, probably has kind of been a year at this point, off and on, because this is not my full-time gig. But when that comes out, you should watch it. It's gonna be great. I really dive into psychology, why Carolina Crown looks and is the way that they are. So watch that. I'm so glad that Keith is back, because their show just makes so much sense and super easy to get behind. Crowd favorite, a lot of people's favorite, and enjoyed it. Of course, they won the Regiment Best Brass Performance Award, which was an average of all 3 nights, which was great. Great for them. It's the first time that they received this award since 2023. So I'm sure the Harloffs are super excited to have that back, and so is everybody on staff. So well earned. It is their 9th Regiment Brass Performance Award. So next year, Power of 10. I get that joke because I'm a cadet. Okay, aged out in 2015. We got the Regiment that year. Okay, moving on. Their finals run had lots of little mistakes. I think they were nervous trying to catch up. Again, it was really close between them and Blue Devils in semifinal scores, and I think they let the nerves and the excitement kind of get the best of them. There were little mistakes and some soloist things and some phasing at the beginning of the show and finals night, and they actually didn't win the brass caption on finals night, but the average, they won prelims and semis, so they did end up with the brass caption award. So again, I think also percussion. Percussion is what's holding this drum corps back from an automatic second place in this particular placement, but I think they could be a real contender for a second championship if they can figure out the percussion thing. But that's always been Carolina Crown's thing, right? Percussion has always been the thing that's on the cusp of holding them back from greatness. No offense to the performers. I just think someone in my chat said if they could just keep percussion staff longer than 2 years. I think that's probably an exaggeration, but I meant it earlier. Maybe you guys should go and try to recruit Cavaliers drumline folks, or if you're more ambitious, pick somebody else. But drumline, front ensemble, all of it, I feel like percussion is their weak spot. There was a clear difference between the way, and not only their brass played, but the way that their percussion didn't match up with their brass in that quality, but also didn't match the other drum lines and front ensembles that were around them in placement. So percussion, Crown's weakness. Brass, general effect, yes. Also, Carolina Crown, I love Crown's show, poetic, and an excuse to play various different styles. Really cool stuff. Great props. I want to see a second Crown championship, please. That would be amazing. Crown is back. They feel like Crown. Thank you, Keith Potter. Again, probably my favorite show of the whole season, because I'm a Crown fanboy and the cadets aren't around to root for. So go Crown. Watch out for that Crown video coming out hopefully soon. Like and subscribe. Make sure you're there for it. Second place, and the Blue Devils show Zay. I am usually a hater of the Blue Devils. Love to hate on the Blue Devils, but this year I gotta give them credit. Their show was almost a metaphor for how they fell to 4th place and out of their dynasty, and kind of were like, you know what? Let's just, be Icarus. Let's laugh about it. Let's rise from the flames, and here we are. And they did that. Second place. They also won brass on finals night. Not the award, not the caption award, but they did win brass caption on finals night, because again, it's an average of all 3 nights to get the award. So great job, Blue Devils. I understood their show without having to go do a research project. Great stuff. Loved the uniform coloring. Everyone talked about it, and the bell bottom sort of swoosh with the reveal of the color. Again, love the uniform. Wonderful job with the uniforms, and congrats on being back in the top 2. Blue Devils Dynasty restored? Question mark? Let's see what you guys do in 2027. Great job coming out there with that swagger and owning it, saying, yes, we deserve second place. So great job to the Blue Devils. All right, number 1, the one you've been waiting for, and also probably the most easily predictable winner, undefeated all year long, huge gap between them and everybody else all season long. The Bluecoats with their 2026 award-winning production, Gravity and Grace. Trying to go with that color theme. This is the closest shirt I had to that color. So while you did have to do some research on this show to fully grasp it, once you did dive in, the Leslie speakers were cool. The execution was off the charts. The programming, really well done. Loved having some Beach Boys in the drum corps scene, and yeah, just really, really great job. I was rooting for them to break the world record, but I digress. They now hold the 4th highest score in DCI history, with a 99.1 is also equally as impressive. They also won the George Zingali Color Guard Caption Award for the first time in their entire history, so great job to the Bluecoats on that one as well. Some critiques: I would love to see some more difficult drill from them in the future, and maybe from most corps, is taking a form and actually maintaining it for more than like 2 seconds, and Blue Star's doing a great job with that. Everybody else, let's get some good drill. None of this just staging flutter somewhere. I get it, you use it, but gosh, where are the days of actually maintaining a form and then moving it? I feel like that's harder. I feel like we're just playing easy mode. Let's crank it up a little bit. Mix it up. You said change is everything, Bluecoats. Come on, let's change it back. Everything old is new again. They had 2 perfect scores from general effect judges, and they also had a perfect score from one of the music analysis judges on finals night. And yes, they did win every caption award except for brass. Pretty easily predictable, but thanks Crown for not giving them the clean sweep, I guess. Feel satisfied in that one. So again, super proud of all the performers. Super great year for drum corps. I really got to enjoy going out and seeing the shows live in Atlanta, and very excited to keep making drum corps content. As you know, it's not my full-time gig, but when I get to make it, I get to make it, and I want to make quality stuff. Right now, we're trying to actually surpass the Cadets YouTube channel here in subscribers. So if you haven't clicked subscribe, click subscribe if you want to see us try to do that. And also just you enjoy good quality video essays and quality drum corps content and commentary. I'd love to make more. Again, not my full-time gig, not my full-time job, but I enjoy it and I love it. So thank you for showing up, watching this video. Thanks for the support and the love. And if you liked this video, you might also want to know how the Bluecoats became a contender. I made a video about that. It's somewhere on screen right now. You should definitely click that and keep watching any other Rocky Point videos that you would like to. I'm not stopping you. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead. That Crown video is coming. I promise, as soon as I can get it done and it's quality, I'll get it out. It's gonna be epic. Look for it soon. Happy 2026 Drum Corps. And until next time, like, subscribe, let's pass the Cadets YouTube channel, and we'll catch you guys later.